Good evening, everyone, and welcome to tonight's broadcast. We're kicking off some Wildcats hockey a day early this weekend as the Wildcats are in Odessa for the final time of the season to take on the Jackalopes here on this Thursday night from the Ector County Coliseum in Odessa, Texas. With you, as always, I'm Alex Von Koitel, bringing you Wildcats hockey presented by Armored Roofing. Well, this will be the first and the last time the Cats will be playing a three-game road series this season. We all remember what happened the last time they played in a three-game series, a devastating trifecta of defeats against the Lone Star Brahmas on home ice to preface the holiday break. But, folks, the Jackalopes are not the Brahmas. Odessa has struggled of late. Since the last time they played the Cats in late November, they've only won 4 games, and not to mention the Wildcats have had nothing but success against this team this season. They're a perfect 7-0 on the campaign against the Jackalopes. 6 of those victories came in regulation time. Playing against the Jacks has been the Wildcats' bread and butter this season. We'll see if that continues tonight. The Wildcats are coming off a disappointing defeat in Topeka against the Roadrunners, however, while the Jacks won their last game last weekend in this building against the second-place Lone Star Brahmas. In that game, they started John Flackney, the recently acquired goaltender from the Minot Minotauros. He will be getting his second start as a Jackalope tonight, and he will be doing so against one of the top teams in the North American Hockey League. Will he be able to shut down the mighty Wildcats attack, or will the Wildcats kick off this three-game road series on a high note? All that and more coming your way in just a few minutes. Wildcats, Jackalopes next. Welcome back, folks. The Wildcats starting lineups are being announced here at the moment by the public address announcer here at the Ector County Coliseum, as are the officials. The referee tonight, Michael Menard, he has officiated, it seems like, more than half of the Wildcats games this season. He will be the man in the black and white stripes and the orange armband tonight. His linesmen, his fellow officials, Kyle Bennett and Michael Fasani, will be the linesman tonight for this game. And we all remember, or some of us at least remember, what happened the last time the Wildcats were in this building. Michael Fasani actually had to take over referee duties because the referee in this game, in that game, ended up getting a concussion. Don't quite remember exactly what happened, but he obviously made some contact with his head. He had to leave the game, and he was escorted to a local hospital here in Odessa, and Michael Fasani took over the head officiating duties. So hopefully a different night will be in store for Michael Fasani and the officials tonight. The Odessa Jackalopes starting lineup is as follows. As was mentioned in the pregame show, John Flackney will get the nod between the pipes, and He played a very, very solid debut for Coach Greg Gatto's Odessa Jackalopes. He won that game against the Lone Star Brahmas a little less than a week ago. Stopped just about all the shots he faced, only conceded 1 goal, 18 for 19 in his debut as a Jackalope. So he's off to some really solid numbers thus far. We'll see if he keeps it going here against the mighty Wildcats attack. On defense, Danny Corrali and Andy McLean, a couple of alternate captains for the Jackalopes, easily their top 2 defensemen. No surprises there. Look for them to log about half the ice time tonight. At forward, Zach Zeck will be centering Ryan McKellar and John Russell, the Harvard commit. So that line expected to get some ice time as well. The big line, the main line for Odessa, will in all likelihood go up against a weaker line for the Wildcats. That's just some matchmaking going on by Coach Greg Gatto. He's got Hampus Shodal, Derek Brown, and Gray Marr all on the same line together. So look for them to also log a ton of ice time and probably do some damage against the Wildcats tonight. The man who will be most responsible for preventing that damage will be number 31 in black, Justin Kappelmaster, who gets another nod in between the pipes for the Wichita Falls Wildcats. And this is going to be his 30th start for the team. Very much looking forward to seeing what he can bring. And he did play a little bit in the last series, not a whole lot. He came in for relief of Julian Syme after he had conceded 2 goals on the first 3 shots. So Kappelmaster gets the start tonight, and we'll finish the Pelicans starting lineup after the singing of our national anthem. Starting on defense tonight for Wichita Falls, Holden Cronin. We haven't seen him start a whole lot of these games. He will be getting the nod on left D. His defensive partner, at least to start the evening, Noah Gilraith, will be on his offside. He will be playing right defense. At center, Adam Goodsir, his red-hot line gets the nod. He and Austin Bolio have, aside from last weekend, have torn things up of late. Last weekend was not the weekend they were hoping for. Regardless of that, they will be starting tonight. Andre Pizon joins the two of them. He will be playing on the right wing. The Wildcats starting lineup is brought to you by Pelicans Restaurant, and the ceremonial puck drop has just taken place in the neutral zone between Zach Zeck and Austin Beaulieu. Interesting situation with Zach Zeck, his younger brother, actually the youngest player in the South Division, possibly the entire league, Cooper Zeck, who was born in December of 1998. He just recently committed to the University of Alaska Fairbanks, where he will join his teammate and current fellow defenseman Danny Corrali. So Cooper has committed, Zach Zeck has not, so obviously there will be some anticipation awaiting that decision by Zach Zeck, number 17 in cream tonight. Takes the opening face-off, but loses it to Adam Goodsir. The puck drops, and this game is underway. The first period of Wildcats hockey is brought to you by American Classifieds. Holden Cronin early on gets the puck out to neutral ice. Puck batted back into the Wildcat zone, and Gilraith chops it back to the Jackalope zone. Danny Corrali with his first touch of the puck. The Jackalopes' top defenseman gets the return pass from his defensive partner. Danny Corrali put it through center ice. John Russell takes a hit to make a play, but to no avail. Pizon intercepting in the neutral zone. It's Holden Cronin now hugging the left side boards. Could have a rush with the Wildcats. Sent it across the ice. Went off of Bolio's skates, and Cronin takes a hit. As Goodsir backpedals now in his own zone and feeds Cronin on the left wing. Cronin gains the blue line onside. Feathers to Lown, whose backhand shot is stopped by Flackney, his first save of the evening. Right back the other way, the Jackalopes send it. Cronin gives it across the ice for Jeff Baum and goes off the ice for his first line change of the night. Puck bounces deep into Odessa territory, and Cooper Zek takes over. The Jackalopes this evening wearing specialty helmets in honor of their military appreciation night, as Lown is tripped up by Graymar and Menard with his hand in the air. An early penalty upcoming against the Jackalopes. All Marr can do is shake his head. Jeff Baum, left point, takes the shot. Glove saved by Flackney, and he'll hold on. Well, just over a minute has gone by, and already there will be a power play, and it belongs to the Wildcats, their first Jim Arnold Collision power play of the night. And they have been hovering at the top of the North American Hockey League in the standings as far as their power play is concerned all season long. 21.3%. It has slipped a bit, but it is still fourth best in the entire league, so they're doing something right. Jeff Baum will quarterback this power play. All components of the 20s line out there, as well as Andre Paisan, as Baum gives it to him. Right circle now. Paisan down low to the goal line for Albrecht. Sent all the way back to the right point. Baum this way for Rosa. His shot fought off by Flackney, and the puck ricochets out to the far side, and the Jackalopes' Connor Wood will skate a puck back the other way. Wood working one-on-one against Jeff Baum. Connor Wood, the commit to the University of Alabama, Huntsville. He's a native of Buford, Georgia, so he's actually from the same area as Austin Beaulieu. Will be attending the same university as well. And they actually know each other. According to Justin Kapelmaster, they're buddies. So we'll see if there's any love lost between the two of them in this game. The Jackalopes fire the puck the length of the ice as Michael Round surveys and works it out in front of his own net. Here's Eric Yeager, tripped up by Miller, and Poikola's got it. Poikola puts it across the line for Yeager. Chips it past one defender, played in behind the net by Goodsir. Around the far corner boards for Poikola. Rounds walks the blue line without the puck. Poikola sends it down low. A centering attempt hopped off a stick, and Yeager has it left circle. Yeager down to the goal line again for Beaulieu. Beaulieu slides it back left point. Rounds. Beaulieu left circle. One-timer from Poikola. Didn't get a lot of it. Trickles harmlessly to the corner as Goodsir's cross-check down to the ice. No call upcoming. 35 seconds remain on the Jim Arnold's Collision power play. Rounds for Beaulieu. Left half boards, works with some room. Beaulieu skates in, shoots, glove save, Flackney, and he's going to cover that one up. Probably Flackney's best save of the evening up till this point. Austin Beaulieu is the only Wildcat to have played in every single one of their games this season. He's got 42 games played for the Cats this season. And in those 42 games, he has scored 36 points, nearly a point per game player, and nothing less was expected of him to start this season. I've said it once and I'll say it again. I don't think there was anybody on this team who had higher expectations than Austin Beaulieu, and he has lived up to them. Sipus for Van Wy. Van Wy into the high slot. Gilraith backhands a pass across. Lown tried one pass too many. It was behind Van Wy. Chips it free, and the Jackalopes are going to work it out to center. That's going to just about wrap things up for the Jim Arnold Collision power play for the Wildcats. They're going to fall to 0 for 1 as Graymar is out of the box. Puck is one-handed into neutral ice as Gilraith takes over. Gives to Trent Dillinger, the newest Wildcat. He mishandled, and Cooper Zek goes across the ice. Puck banked off the glass and all the way down. Russell going after it, icing against Odessa. 16:22 to go in period one. 4 shots on goal. All of them have come off a Wildcats sticks. However, they have not yet solved John Flackney, who, at least up till this point, has looked square to the shot. The Cats are going to get a look on an offensive zone faceoff now. It will take place to the right of John Flackney. As usual, folks, if at any point throughout this game you're tuning in out there and you'd like me to give you a brief shout-out, go ahead and send the Wildcats Twitter page a message and let us know where you're tuning in from, and I'll be more than happy to give you a shout-out before this game comes to an end. Austin Albrecht played it to himself off the corner boards, looks and centers. That went off a stick. Russell shoots. Stopped by Flackney. A diving save is made in goal by John Flackney. Easily his best of the night. Possibly the best save of any goaltender this season. My goodness, how was that not a goal? Russell just continues to be snake bitten after that one. Puck fired ahead, picked off by Rourke Russell over the Jackalopes logo. Guides it to the right wing side for Lazarus. Good back check by Hampus Shodal. Recently committed young man to Bemidji State University, a Division I program, as Rosa tipped a shot wide. Rourke Russell finished his check, and the puck has just been iced by Odessa. Already the Cats have mustered 7 shots on goal, and Flackney has stopped all of them. If you didn't think he was on his game before, you certainly have to now. What a diving save he just made on Rourke Russell. Again, the Cats go to work for an offensive zone draw. Litviak gives it back to Baum, slapped it wide of the net intentionally, goes off the corner boards. Dillinger in pursuit. It's going to be picked up, however, by the Jackalopes number 14, Ben DeMaio. Puck shot all the way down the ice. Baum is back to retrieve it. Chopped ahead. Litviak takes a hit there. Tries to work it up past Ryan McKellar. No luck with that. Corrali takes over in the neutral zone and flips it on goal. Punched away by Kappelmaster. Sipus goes behind his own net for Baum. Trickled up the boards, held in Corrali. Long shot blocked by Yeager. Corrali towards the corner there. Taylor Gatto's shot went off the side of the net. Good steal off the stick of Connor Wood. Yeager took a bit of a funny-looking hit there in front of the player benches, and one of the linesmen saw something he didn't like, so he blows his whistle. We're a quarter of the way through period 1, brought to you by American Classified. Still no score in our game, but the Wildcats have dominated, at least in shots, at 7-1. Adam Goodsir's line is back out there. Goodsir against Zach Zeck again. This time it's won by Zeck. Danny Corrali for Andrew McLean. McLean fires a long-range shot that went wide on the glove side of Kappelmaster from the neutral zone. Cronin back in his own corner, played it between the skates of Goodsir. It was dangerous, knocked free by Zach Zeck, who's got it far corner. Zeck pushes it free, and it's Ryan McKellar jarring it loose. He sent one cross crease, and it was picked off by Bolio, who's the only one in the area. Bolio chipped it into the Jackalope zone. Paisan spins with it at the goal line, tries to center for Bolio, picked off, and skated out of harm's way by Danny Corrali. Good keep by Paisan. Bolio's got it, tries to return for Paisan, chops at it. Goodsir now, goal line, centers for Paisan, who fanned on it. Puck fired wide by a Jackalope in behind his own net. Paisan goes after it. McKellar backhands it, tries to hook it out, held in right point by Gilraith. Gilraith chips it in deep. McLean goes behind his own goal, and finally it looks like the Jacks will be able to escape the danger. Zach Zeck gives it to Danny Corrali. Corrali will leave it. It's going to be skated out of there by John Russell. Corrali, McLean. In his own zone, they go D to D again. McLean tries to wheel the puck over the red line. He does so and manages to get it past Rourke Russell. Russell jams it down there for Michael Rounds. Rounds finds Van Wy on the left wing side. Garrett Van Wy dumps the puck in. Poikula goes after it. Lots of speed on this line. Poikula's got it far corner, near corner rather. Works for it. Trickled up the boards. Russell keeps it in temporarily. Poikula's got it left corner. Jammed off his stick there by Tucker, Brandon Tucker, and he got it out to center and beyond. Rourke Russell back checking. Ben Lown chipped it ahead. Rounds did as well. Did that puck get over the blue line? Yes, it did, and Cooper Zeck will reset in neutral ice. Puck chipped into Wildcats territory by Brennan Miller. Johnny Lazarus turns it over here. Look out, Graymar's backhander, fought off by Kappelmaster. Rebound picked up by Rosa, and he will skate it out of there. Nick Rosa gains the Jackalopes line and fires a shot that goes off the glass. Left point, it's Baum. Baum's long shot was blocked. Didn't get through the traffic, and the Jackalopes are out to center. Graymar working against Jeff Baum, who tries to one-hand it away from him. Rosa on the back check, scoops it up. Rosa's pass bounces into the left circle area as Shodal's blind centering attempt was intercepted by Austin Albrecht. Rosa for Lazarus, gets the return pass from him. Albrecht to the goal, Rosa's shot blocked. Good defensive play made by Jake Levin, who skates off the ice for a line change. Puck sent cross ice in the Wildcats zone, and Nick Rosa will send it ahead to Austin Albrecht, who's got some speed. Albrecht turns and shoots. It was blocked by Danny Corrali. Gilraith goes behind his own net. It's picked off. And Shodal is just crushed to the ice there by Holden Cronin. Big hit behind his own net. And we get a whistle and a stoppage of play. 11:39 to go here in period one. We're still scoreless at the ECC. 7-2 the shots on goal. The last two have been taken by Jackalopes. Justin Kappelmaster with a pretty big save on Gray Marr, the Twin Butte, Alberta native. New to the Jackalopes this season, but a veteran in other respects. He has played his fair share of junior hockey up in Canada. Jackalopes, obviously, they're trying to, over the offseason after a dismal year last season, trying to improve by adding some seasoned veterans and some older players to their team, which they have done, and they have improved. Just not quite as much as they have needed to. And again, as they've grown accustomed to doing, they have hit a mid-season slump. They did the same thing last season. They started the 2014-15 campaign quite well. Fell into an enormous slump in the middle of the year. But then they picked it up again at the end, just a little too late to make the playoffs. This time they've got a lot better of a chance to do so if they go on a streak here. As they find themselves in 5th place in the South Division. They're trailing the Corpus Christi Ice Rays in the standings by only 6 points, and they've got two games in hand, so that could really go either way. Puck wrapped around the end boards in the Odessa zone. Good serve back to his billet mate Rounds, whose pass flutters up over the glass and out of play. We're approaching the midway point of period one, and we're still scoreless here at the ECC. Both goaltenders have steered aside all tasks that have been thrown their way. Both of them have looked solid to start. You will hear from one of them in our first intermission this evening. Justin Kappelmaster sat down with me before this game started. I asked him about his commitment to Ferris State University, among other things, so you will hear from him in tonight's first intermission. Puck flutters over the glove of Rounds. He's got to hustle back. It's picked up by Zach. Zach left circle, put it in front. McKellar tipped it just wide. Picked up behind the net. McKellar's got it there on his backhand. Had his pocket picked by Goodsir. Chipped up the boards, and Bolio will skate it out to neutral ice. Bolio had it stolen away from him. Follow up by Rourke Russell. He gains the blue line. Flutters it in the air, bats it down, and a high stick will be called against the Wildcats' youngest defenseman, Rourke Russell. It was a nice play. You got to give him that. The kid's got all sorts of skill, but unfortunately was not allowed. Michael Menard saying it was hit with a high stick, which is very possible. Alexei Poikala will take the defensive zone face-off now against Brennan Miller. Miller, a native of Keller, Texas, the only Texas native on this Jackalope squad. And a penalty upcoming, and I believe it will be against the Wildcats for holding. Perhaps not. Looks like a Jackalope is skating to the sin bin now. Brandon Tucker. The call is a hold, no question about that, but I thought it was going to be against a Wildcat because the whistle had blown when a Wildcat touched the puck. Well, we're officially halfway through period one, still without a score here, but the Wildcats with another chance on the Jim Arnold's collision power play. They have not yet converted this evening. They had one chance earlier. Looked pretty good on it, just couldn't solve John Flackney, who was 7 for 7 this evening. Puck hammered around the boards and off the glass. Lazarus tries to keep it in, but it's chopped away from him by Gray Marr, who goes down. Shodal had a man breaking up the open ice. Delayed penalty against the Wildcats here as they reset in their own zone. The Jackalopes with it. Faulkner out to center. Connor Wood gets it deep into the Cats zone, and Jeff Baum is back to touch it up. But penalty upcoming. That will negate the remainder of the Wildcats' Jim Arnold collision power play. It's going to be Johnny Lazarus. As you see on your fasthockey.com screen, he's going to have a seat. For Lazarus, those will be his 24th and 25th PIMs of the campaign. And we go to some 4-on-4 hockey for the next 101 seconds. Alexei Poikala, Garrett Van Wy, Dementis Sipis, and Jeff Baum, the 4-on-4 specialists for the Wildcats. for the Jackalopes. Hampus Shodal, Danny Corrali, Andy McLean, and Graymar as Van Wy chips it past McLean and out into the Odessa zone. Corrali turns it over. Poikula back to the right point for Sipus, whose long bid was off target. Rattles off the glass. Van Wy had it bounce on him funny, so Corrali beat him to it. Danny Corrali, the Jackalopes' top defenseman, will leave it off in behind his own net and gets the return from Hampus Shodal. And the Jackalopes' leading scorer, Shodal, in possession now, and the whistle blows, and I'm not quite sure why. This might have been an offside. If so, it was a very late whistle. The players head back to their respective benches for our first period media timeout. So a fresh slate of players for the Wildcats. Only 2 fresh players for the Jackalopes now in this 4-on-4. It's Eric Yeager, Nikita Litviak, Rourke Russell, and Michael Rounds on the ice now. Odessa has only changed up their defensemen. Cooper Zek and Jake Levin. Shodal and Marr are still at forward as Levin has it and goes D-to-D for Cooper Zek. Zek sends one ahead for Hampus Shodal. Jackalopes' leading scorer guides it back to the point. Zek with room, put it back door, and the one-timer was sent wide by Jake Levin on the near side of the net. And the Cats have just cleared the puck down. No icing here as it's picked up by Graymar and sent out to center. Rourke Russell after it. Kappelmaster touches it, so no icing. Eric Yeager's pass too far for Bolio. Intercepted by Dakota Mensledge and given away to Michael Rounds. Rounds scales down the left wall and surveys, put it in front, and it's sent wide there by Adam Goodsir. I'm not sure if he even got a stick on it. Could not be held in at the blue line by Holden Cronin, who will reset in the neutral zone. Gives it to Bolio, who put it across for Goodsir. Back over the line, it's Cronin. Played it to the corner for Bolio. Jackalopes are back to full strength. The Wildcats are a dozen seconds away from being on it as well. Mayo blasts the puck into the Cats zone. Kappelmaster leaves it there for Gilraith. Coughs it up to Zach Zek. Forechecking hard. Gave it away off of Bolio's skate. Chopped onto his tape. Goodsir takes it over and springs Lazarus, but he was stymied there at the blue line. And a puck battle ensues in front of the Jackalopes bench. It's Noah Gilraith now in neutral ice. Gilraith takes a hit there from Connor Wood. My goodness, that'll wake you up. He manages to get the puck deep. He took the hit to make a pretty good play. The 20s line out there for the Wildcats. McLean sends it ahead for Danny Corrali, streaking down the left side. Corrali waits, shoots, knocked away by Kappelmaster. Albrecht slides it ahead for Lazarus. Lazarus has Baum with him on a 3-on-2. Rosa the trailer. Rosa's got it right circle, put it in front, and it was stopped, knocked away by the goaltender. Long shot again, save, rebound, another save is made by the goaltender Flackney. 3 straight saves, one-timer from Lazarus. He fanned on it, and it's picked up by Andy McLean. McLean for Corrali, goes past him, chopped out to center there by Matthew Rippon. 6.5 minutes remain in period 1, still without a score here at the ECC. Plenty of chances though, 10-2 the shots in favor of the Wildcats. The collision happens down there behind the Jackalopes net involving Sipus. Lown takes the shot off the glove of Flackney, pops in behind the net, chopped up the boards, and Brandon Tucker will scale it off the boards and out to center. Russell takes a hit from behind there in the neutral zone by Pierce Plumer, the Air Force commit, no penalty. Levin's pass went off of Plumer's stick. Poikula taking over in behind his own net. Poikula sauces a pass ahead for Van Wy, who got it to Lown, chopped off his stick, and back the other way it goes. Brandon Tucker spins it deep into Wildcat ice. Michael Rounds leaves it behind his own net, Holden Cronin for Ben Lown. Denlown right half boards in his own zone. Flutters a pass ahead. It bounced over Van Wy's stick and goes all the way down the ice. Dakota Mensledge back for Odessa. 5.5 minutes remain in period one. We're still scoreless as puck is brought forth by Odessa's Pierce Plumer. Took a long shot, fought off and soaked up by Justin Kappelmaster. 11-3 the shots on goal, favoring the Wildcats, who have dominated in that department, but we're scoreless in the department that matters. And boy, John Flackney has looked extremely solid here in the early going for the Jackalopes. Made that diving save on Rourke Russell early on, and then 3 consecutive saves, 2 of which were point-blank A-plus scoring chances. Here's Eric Yeager. Negotiates his way into the offensive zone. Litviak spins, protects the puck. Gilreath's long shot, stopped. Dillinger's shot, fought off again. They score on the rebound. Not sure if it was Dillinger or Yeager. They were both there. And if it's Dillinger, that's his first goal as a Wichita Falls Wildcat. And I believe that's who has scored his first goal as a Wildcat. And the Cats lead 1-0. Eyes on, far corner working for it against Andy McLean. Shodal in the neutral zone. Gets it in deep. I think so, yeah. Excuse me, folks, I just had to do some verification on that goal with some of the off-ice officials. None of them knew who scored it either. Graymar just couldn't corral the pass. Michael Rounds pushes Graymar into the corner boards. And a penalty will be called against Wichita Falls here. The only reason that I'm presuming that it was Dillinger who scored the goal is because he led the celebration line after it was scored, skating back to the Wildcats bench. Typically, the person who leads that line is the one who scored the goal, in most cases. And I do not think he would have led that line if Yeager would have scored the goal. The penalty is called against the Wildcats, who will be shorthanded for the second time tonight. This time it could be a full power play they're facing. As Zek's long shot, blocker save, Kappelmaster, rebound chopped out of there by Gilreath, held in right point Zek. Zek down the wall for Brennan Miller, using his size against Holden Cronin down there. Played around the end boards, and Dakota Mensledge pinches down the wall. Backhanded up, back up to the top of the point. Cooper Zek calling for it and gets it from his older brother, gives it right back to him. Zek. Sharp angle bid was blocked. Rebound stopped by Kappelmaster. And the puck rolls off the side of the net. And it's picked up by Cronin. Fired off the glass. Kept in Zek. Cooper Zek dekes past Rosa. Puts one to the side of the goal. A stuff attempt from Miller is stopped by Kappelmaster, who was hugging the near post. Sent to the outside. Saucer pass to Cooper Zek now. Zek hammers the one-time shot. Blocked down. Picked up Lazarus, and he clears. 3 minutes and 20 seconds remain in this period. A minute remains on the Michael Rounds penalty. Hampus Shodal put it over the Wildcats line for Graymar. Goes around the Wildcats end boards with it. Bounces off a skate. Danny Corrali will reset in his own end. 35 seconds to go on this Parkway Grill penalty kill for the Wildcats, who are without one of their defensemen on it. It is Michael Rounds serving the penalty as Shodal Kareems through center, gains the Wildcats line, chopped away by Garrett Van Wy, and the Jackalopes have struggled a little bit with their entries here. Puck fired off the near half wall. Shodal tripped up. No penalty against Van Wy. Some of the fans wanting one, however. Danny Corrali with 10 seconds to go on the power play. Steams down the left wing side. Lown catching up to him. Corrali pushes it deep, sticked out of there by Kappelmaster. Lown going after it, right corner. Rounds is out of the box. We're 5 skaters aside. Good stick handling. Shodal's in. He scores! Hampus Shodal. Check that. It is Derek Brown. Derek Brown picked up the puck far corner, did some fancy stick handling out in front of the Wildcats goal, and backhanded it past Justin Kappelmaster. And the Odessa Jackalopes have tied this game. It's 1-1. And Derek Brown, the Niagara University commit, displaying some sweet hands on that goal. Really just sliced through the Wildcats' defense. And you got a feel for Kappelmaster on that. It was just the 5th shot he has faced. Has not seen a whole lot of action coming his way throughout the first 18 minutes of this game. And boy, ask any goaltender how difficult it is to read a backhand shot, and they'll all tell you. Nearly impossible to predict where it's going. The Jackalopes have just iced the puck as Sipus is back to touch up. The Wildcats will have another offensive zone draw coming here with 111 seconds remaining in period 1. Cats have already fired a baker's dozen shots on goal in the direction of John Flackney. He has stopped 12 of them. Good sir to take the draw. He loses it pretty cleanly, and Ben DeMaio, the Dartmouth commit, will skate out through his own end and gain the neutral zone line. Ben DeMaio leading the rush, jabs it past Rounds, who goes after it now. Rounds centered accidentally, and a shot on point-blank try is fought off by Kappelmaster. It was Matthew Rippin right in Kappelmaster's kitchen. His best save of the night as Bolio takes it wide and shoots, stick save by Flackney. My goodness, not sure what happened there. It looked to me like Rounds accidentally pushed the puck right in front of his own goal. It very easily could have been the defenseman down there, Ben DeMaio, who led the rush, started that whole play, took it from his own zone, got it in behind Kappelmaster's crease, and he and Rounds were battling for it. Somehow the puck just popped right in front of the Wildcats' net and was right there for a point-blank try by Matthew Rippin. Kappelmaster denied him as the puck is sent wide of the Jackalopes' net and picked up by Jake Levin in his own end. Levin had some trouble with it. Lazarus pushes it deep. Levin will have a second chance as he goes behind his own net for Cooper Zek. Levin lays a pass ahead, and it's a nice one. Zek in. Good back check by Michael Rounds, and he did everything right on that. The Jackalopes had numbers. Albrecht plays one across the ice. Cooper Zek pinches. McKellar does as well. The puck ends up past him, and the Wildcats have cleared it before going for a line change. Alexei Poikola's line is back out there. Joined by Ben Lown and Garrett Van Wy, who are all in the offensive zone trying to forecheck. Puck rattled off the glass. It bounces out to center. Baum flips it further, and it's Cooper Zek getting into the Wildcats zone. Zek once more takes over. Baum for Poikola. His pass intercepted. It's Andy McLean dropping it off. A long shot, missed wide glove side, and the net has been dislodged. .16 seconds remain in this period. The neutral zone face-off between Eric Yeager and Hampus Shodal, both of whom are committed to playing Division I college hockey next season. Shodal wins the draw. McLean's long shot flutters wide of the net from the neutral zone. Gilraith behind his own goal. Jeff Baum out for Yeager. Yeager will haul the puck down the right side. Time for perhaps one last shot. He fires one from neutral ice, and it's stopped easily by John Flackney, who has made his 15th or 14th save of the period, which has just come to an end. The first period of Wildcats hockey is brought to you by American Classifieds, and after 20 minutes of play, we're all deadlocked at 1 goal apiece. The first goal for the Wildcats was scored by Trent Dillinger, I believe. His first goal as a Wichita Falls Wildcat in just his 3rd game. If so, congratulations to Trent. If not, we apologize. We're not 100% sure. Both Dillinger and Yeager were in the area, and both of them made a shooting motion on the puck, so it could have been either one, but I believe, based on the celebration, I believe Trent Dillinger scored the goal. And he was answered pretty quickly by the Odessa Jackalopes. It was Derek Brown who stick-handled through the Wildcats' defense just after their penalty had been killed. So they remained 2 for 2 on the Parkway Grill penalty kill, but they conceded a goal shortly thereafter to Derek Brown, who scored a really pretty goal. And those are the goals scored in the first period, so we're tied up at 1 here. 2 power plays for both sides. All 4 of them have been unsuccessful up till this point in the game, and we're going to take a short break here from the Ector County Coliseum, and when we come back, you're going to hear from Wildcats goaltender Justin Kappelmaster. Stay tuned. Good evening, Wildcats fans, and welcome back to your first intermission report. I'm Alex Boncota, the voice of your Wichita Falls Wildcats, and I'm joined up here in the booth at the Ector County Coliseum in Odessa, Texas, pregame by Wildcats goaltender Justin Kappelmaster. And Justin, thank you very much for your time.
Yeah, of course.
So, first off, Justin, I'd like to congratulate you on your commitment to Ferris State University just a few weeks ago. So, congratulations on that.
Thank you.
Of course. And I understand it had been a long time coming. Lots of guys seem to know you'd ultimately commit there. Describe
this year. I was glad not to because Ferris State is an elite program, and just talking to them, and when I went to my visit, basically fell in love with the campus and the staff and the team, and basically couldn't say no.
So very well deserved. It is an elite program, like you mentioned. Several NHL alumni have come through the Ferris State program. And Justin, another elite player who has committed there, is actually a pretty big rival of yours at the moment. Cam Clark of the Lone Star Brahmas, one of the better defensemen in the entire North American Hockey League, I'd say. What are your thoughts on the prospect of playing with him in the near future?
Yeah, no, it's exciting. Obviously we played them a lot this year. They're a big rival, and he's definitely one of the top D in the league. Obviously the top D on their team.
Right.
And he's going in as a freshman. I'm going in as a freshman. Who knows? We might be rooming together, which would be pretty funny.
That would be enemies today, friends tomorrow.
Exactly.
And speaking of enemies, the Wildcats are now on their final trip to Odessa for this 3-game road series. This will be the first and only 3-game road series for the Cats this season. What can you expect from it?
No, it's going to be tough. I'll tell you that much. We played Odessa a lot the first half of the year. This is, I think, the first time we're playing them the second half of the year, and every game before this has been a tough one with them. And talking to our coaches and everybody around, they say that Odessa is definitely one of the top teams second half of the year. So this weekend's going to be really huge for us.
Well, they absolutely were last season. They struggled immensely in the middle portions of the season. They really, really turned it around in the latter stages. Unfortunately for them, it was just too late to bounce back enough and make the playoffs. But Justin, the Wildcats have not yet lost to the Jackalopes this season. They've won every single game, 9-0 against them. Oh, is it difficult to stay humble in this sort of situation and to not take them lightly?
Oh, 100%. I mean, they have a really, really strong team. They're coached really well, and they work really hard. And, especially being, the top dogs right now, I think every team's gunning for us. And, especially to beat a team nine times in a row during the season, they're not too happy. And kind of a weekend, and we're going to have to grind it out and get 3 big wins.
Absolutely. And Justin, one other player who is committed is Hampus Shodal. He just recently committed about a week ago, a little less than a week ago, to Bemidji State University. Their leading scorer, Hampus Shodal, has had a tremendous season for the Jackalopes. What do you think will be key to shutting him down tonight and taking 2 points?
No, just playing our game. Obviously, they got a lot of good guys on their team. Shodal is one of them, and he's definitely one of their key players. He's big, got good size, got a good shot. So I think we just got to keep him to the outside, just make sure we know when he's on the ice, we know when he has the puck, and I think we'll be fine.
All right, well, we all know you can stop the puck, so go do that tonight. And again, Justin, we really appreciate your time. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Alex.
That's Wildcats goaltender Justin Kapelmaster, and I'm Alex Von Coyne, bringing you your first intermission report. We'll be back in just a few short moments to bring you your out-of-town scoreboard update. Stay tuned. Right, welcome back, folks, to our Fast Hockey viewers. We hope you enjoyed that intermission interview with Wildcats goaltender Justin Kappelmaster, who, as I'm sure you've heard, has made his college commitment finally. It was a long time coming. We were all awaiting it. We all knew it was coming, and it's finally happened. Ferris State University for Justin Kappelmaster, a Division I program up in Big Rapids, Michigan. A very well-deserved opportunity for Kappelmaster, who has backstopped the Wildcats to a terrific campaign, the best campaign up to this point that they have ever had, and he has been one of the main factors responsible. A .921 save percentage on the year, 2.06 goals against average, and he has won just about every game he has started. 23-5-1. This sensational goaltending this season from Justin Kappelmaster, who many believe will go down as one of the best goaltenders this franchise has seen. He will be starting at Ferris State to begin next season. He will be going in as a freshman, and as was mentioned in the interview, he will be going in with Cam Clark, who is now one of his bigger rivals with the Lone Star Brahmas. And to our YouTube audience, we apologize you weren't able to hear the interview with Justin Kappelmaster, but welcome back. We're glad you're joining us, and we're glad that we've got YouTube functioning this weekend, unlike last, so that's a plus. For your out-of-town scoreboard update, there are not a whole lot of teams playing this evening due to the fact that it's a Thursday night. In fact, the Wildcats are just this game is just one of two games going on this evening. The only other one is out east in New Jersey. The Titans are hosting the Wilkes-Barre Scranton Knights, a new team to the North American Hockey League. That game is already nearing the end of period 2. They are an hour ahead of us because of the time difference. New Jersey trailing the Wilkes-Barre Scranton Knights by a score of 3-2, and it looks like in that game Bruno Berzaitis has the only 2 New Jersey goals. To those of you Wildcats fans who may remember, Berzaitis scored a pretty big goal against the Wildcats back in the Showcase tournament. The only game of the tournament that the Wildcats lost. They would eventually lose it in a shootout of a Keegan Miller backhand shot in the shootout. A heartbreaking defeat for the Wildcats, who had been perfect up till that point in the Showcase tournament. But at least they got a point in that defeat. The New Jersey Titans, who are still something of a rival to many of the Wildcats' employees, particularly one of the owners, Alex Schneiderman, who lives out there. And I'm sure if he's out there listening, I'm sure he's pleased that the New Jersey Titans trail the Wilkes-Barre Scranton Knights by a score of 3-2. That game nearing its second intermission. This game all deadlocked at 1 goal apiece. 15-8 the shots on goal, favoring the Wildcats. The first goal was scored by Trent Dillinger for his first as a Cat, and the next was scored just 3 minutes later by Derek Brown, who had actually, up until last weekend, had been held off of the goals department for 21 games. He had been as snake-bitten as anyone on the Jackalopes squad, and he finally scored one against the Lone Star Brahmas, and now he's got another one. That's Brown's 32nd point as a Jackalope. He is second on the team, trailing only Hampus Shodal. Just about wrap things up for your first intermission report and your out-of-town scoreboard update. We're about 5.5 minutes removed from second period action, brought to you by American Classifieds. Don't go away, folks. We'll be right back. right, welcome back, folks. We're just moments away here from second period action at the Ector County Coliseum, and we're in for quite the show. It's all deadlocked at 1 goal apiece. The Jackalopes hungry for a win, a long-awaited win over the Wichita Falls Wildcats. The Wildcats hungry for some ice. They did not practice all of this past week. The Harlem Globetrotters being in town and everything, there was no ice at the K. Yeager Coliseum. The Wildcats are on the ice for their first time since the ride home from Topeka on Saturday night. So there is hunger on both sides tonight, folks, and that is why we're tied at 1 goal apiece, as a long neutral zone shot from Gilraith is stopped by John Flackney. Second period hockey is brought to you by American Classifieds, as Paisan or Goodsir is tripped and Paisan's shot is stopped, and the puck has just been cleared the length of the ice. Kappelmaster plays it, so no icing here. Cronin behind his own net for Gilraith. His pass missing Bolio. I'd like to give a shout out to Jim Jeffries watching from Wichita Falls. He says, "Go Justin." Thank you very much to Jim Jeffries for not only all that you do in supporting the Wildcats on fasthockey.com, which we know you do a lot of. We know you just about watch every single game, but also for all that you do for the Wildcats organization and helping with the off-ice official duties. It is very much appreciated. Alexei Poikala uses his speed and centers for Lown, whose shot is stopped by John Flackney. Probably his best save of the night, aside from the diving save he made on Rourke Russell, as Van Wy put it in deep. Lown slaps it back to the left point. Baum keeps it in. Lown tried to center, went off a Cooper Zek skate. Sent back to the left point again for Baum, who passed one into the slot, hoping for Poikala. Instead got McKellar. Puck trickles out to Wildcat territory. McKellar gave it away to Poikala and goes for a line change. The half has gone by here in period 2. 1-1 the score. Both goals came in period 1 as Poikala slices through a few Jackalopes. Trent Dillinger, the lone Wildcat goal scorer, jumps in, and Litviak goes down there to work the puck out. Unfortunately, Cooper Zek got it. Alaska Fairbanks commit, spins in behind his own net with it and waits for things to unfold in front of him. Brandon Tucker makes his route. Cooper Zek works his way out in front of his own net, and he will circle back again. Tries to go after it. He steals it from him. Dillinger sets up Cronin. Cronin's shot blocked, and puck has been cleared into neutral ice, and it's taken by Pierce Plumer. Puck rattled back into Odessa territory. Litviak holds it temporarily. Plumer's back on it, however. That's Miller. Miller pushes it in deep past Michael Rounds. They collide in the corner. Cronin falls down. Rounds and Dillinger in there trying to pry the puck loose, and Cronin in there as well. Working against Pierce Plumer and Brennan Miller. McLean calling for it. Miller gives it to him. His drive missed wide far side, and Yeager has it. And he will skate it out to the neutral zone. Litviak blasts it on goal. Easy save is made by Flackney. Andy McLean lays one ahead for Tucker, who dumps the puck in. Kappelmaster behind his crease. Gives it to Gilraith. Chopped out to the high slot. Long bid McLean. Pad save Kappelmaster. Gilraith again will lay the puck ahead for Lazarus. Gilraith intercepting. Had his pocket picked by Connor Wood, who's onside. Wood hauled down to the ice by Michael Rounds. He's outnumbered 2-1, and the 2 won that fight. Michael Rounds with it for Austin Albrecht. Albrecht flips the puck off of the neutral zone glass. McLean gives it to Corrali. Corrali in his own zone, shoots it out to center. Spring pass a bit too far for Matthew Rippin. Nick Rosa back to play it. Backhanded off the boards by Michael Rounds, and bounces away from Lazarus, so Corrali once more will take over. 4 minutes have gone by in period 2. 1-1 the score. 18-10 the shots in favor of the Cats as Rounds goes to Gilraith. Gilraith goes to Rosa. Rosa goes to Albrecht. Albrecht returns it for Rosa, who's a bit tired at the end of a shift, and it bounced off his stick as a result. Brown waiting for in the neutral zone. Graymar carries 3-on-2. Brown's the trailer, and Marr tried to drop it off for Brown, and it was blocked. For Dom Sipus. Sipis will be leaving the Wildcats shortly to try out for the Lithuanian Olympic team. Read by Jeff Baum. He intercepts the pass. He's in. He shoots. Missed wide, far side. That had some mustard on it. Just couldn't hit the net. Graymar's long shot, well off target. Bounces behind the Wildcats goal, and Paisan will leave it for Demontis Sipis. Sipis banks it off the boards. Cooper Zecht has it. Baum behind his own net. Pass into center ice, and it's batted down and on goal, so the Jackalopes have to play it. Zach leaves it for Jake Levin. Now Cooper Zeck returns it for Levin. In his own zone, works it out to center. Cronin read the play beautifully and pounced on John Russell, who is the intended recipient. Puck batted down in the Wildcats zone. Left corner there by Zach, who's hauled down to the ice, and a penalty upcoming against the Wildcats. And that's not all. Looks like Ben Lown went tumbling after the fact. Not sure if there was a retaliation. I took my eye off the scene of the crime down there. Wildcats will go to the Parkway Grill penalty kill for the third time of the night, and they're 2 for 2 thus far. Thank you very much to Mary Cherry, who is listening to the game via YouTube from Wichita Falls, Texas. Thank you very much, Mary, for tuning in and supporting the Wildcats on YouTube.com. We really appreciate the support that you give us. We hope you've enjoyed tuning into the game up till this point, which is tied at 1. The Jackalopes, however, working the man advantage here as McLean put it wide of the Wildcats' goal, and Poikala will hook the puck out to center. It's Andy McLean going after it in the Odessa zone. A minute and a half remains on this Parkway Grill penalty kill for the Wildcats. Garrett Van Wyen on the forecheck incidentally collides down there with Graymar, or that's McLean rather, and it's Corrali gaining the blue line. He's offside, so the whistle blows. And Hampus Shodal not too pleased with Danny Corrali. He wanted the pass over there on the right side. Corrali, certainly a defenseman with lots of upside, lots of offensive upside, likes to skate the puck in and lead the rush himself oftentimes. It's just every once in a while you'll get a forward who's a bit too eager and will jump the gun. This period has flown by. We're already more than 6 minutes into it. Dakota Menslage. We're seeing Trent Dillinger out there on the penalty kill, so good to see that the coaching staff for the Wildcats has already got some trust in the kid. He's not been a Wildcat long, but in the short amount of time he's been here, he has impressed both John LaFontaine and Josh Nelson substantially. The puck is being wedged down there in the left corner in the Wildcats zone. Rattles off the glass, couldn't be held in at the left point by Dakota Menslage. He's going to have to hustle back after it in his own end. 40 seconds remain on the Parkway Grill penalty kill as Zach storms now through his own zone. Nick Rosa, Johnny Lazarus, Holden Cronin, and Noah Gilraith, the penalty killers for the Wildcats. Puck flutters into the far corner in the Cats zone. Bounces back out to the left point, held in Menslage. He has to reconvene at center ice. Menslage dumps it past Rosa. He's first to it, is slammed into the far corner glass. Up the boards, not out, held in. Zek's got tons of room. Zach in, shoots, glove save, Kappelmaster loose and cleared back out to the high slot. Picked up Cooper Zach, backdoor pass, they score! From younger brother to elder, Cooper Zach to Zach. 2-1 Odessa. They have their first lead of the night in the waning seconds of the power play. And what a pass that was. Austin Bolio jimmies the puck loose off of Corrali's stick. Corrali gave it away to Goodsir to the goal line now for Bolio, who looks. Pison's parked in front of the net. Here's Michael Rounds. Baum calling for it. One times it wide and high. Far corner, Bolio gets to it. Pison trips over himself, and the Jackalopes will skate it out to center. It's Danny Corrali. Corrali is tripped, and another penalty upcoming against the Wildcats. And their penalty kill, which for the most part this evening has been pretty good, will go back to work. It has not been as good as it's needed to be, however. The second power play that the Jackalopes had, they scored almost immediately thereafter, after the Cats had killed off the penalty. Just seconds later, Derek Brown scored. That was back in the first period. And in the last 10 or 15 seconds of that last power play, Zach Zeck scored. So Wildcats looking a bit lackadaisical at the end of their penalty kills. Maybe they're just getting tired, not changing enough. Whatever the case is, they've got to figure it out fast, as Poikel has got it in his own end. Minute and a half remains on this penalty kill. McLean's got it left point, swings it to Corrali right point. Corrali doesn't see a shooting lane he likes, so he gives it back to his long-term defensive partner, Andy McLean. Gets it right back from Derek Brown, gives it across to Corrali. His shot blocked by his own man. Out to McLean. His bid was off target, hit the glass in behind Kappelmaster. Rattles back to the right point. Spinning with it there is Shodal. Got it into the middle. Here's a shot by Brown. Fought off Kappelmaster. Gilraith has it, and he will clear. And Graymar came together with Dementis Sipis. Looked like there was some subtle interference in behind the play. Sipis going to the Wildcats penalty box, and Graymar going to the Jackalopes penalty box. So offsetting penalties against the two of them. And between the two of them, there's a 9-inch height differential. Antisipis, of course, the tallest player on the Wildcats at 6'5". He's now finally rivaled by somebody. Trent Dillinger is 6'3", the tallest forward now on the Wildcats. Graymar, undoubtedly the shortest Jackalope. Eric Yeager's got it behind the Jack's net. Cooper Zeck. Leave it there, and it's Zach Zeck. The most recent goal scorer in this game. Flutters the puck in deep. Here's Mensledge, left point. His long shot blocked by Trent Dillinger. Bounces onto the tape of Cooper Zeck, who feathers it in deep. In the Wildcat zone, they've got 25 seconds remaining on their Parkway Grill penalty kill. If they succeed, they'll improve to 3 for 4 on the night as Yeager shoots it off the boards, and the puck ends up back at center again. It's Dakota Mensledge. Mensledge gave it across. What a reception there by Brennan Miller, who carries it behind the Wildcats goal line. He's hauled down into the glass by Michael Rounds. Cronin, Rounds, and Rosa all down there trying to pry that puck loose. Finally, it comes free. Puck laid back to the right point. Goodsir's out of the box as a long shot is tipped wide. The Cats are back at full strength. We are now more than halfway through regulation time. Puck bounces out to the neutral zone, and the Jackalopes will reset now at even strength. Cooper Zeck sends it rink wide on the tape for Connor Wood, who puts on the brakes. Wood finds an open man in DeMaio. DeMaio's long shot was blocked by his own man and Matthew Rippon. Connor Wood stick handling a bit too much down there, lost possession of the puck, which has just been cleared out to center ice. It's DeMaio once more, going off the glass. Michael Rounds back to play it in his own end, chips it up the boards for Austin Albrecht down his off wing. Albrecht gains the Jackalopes line. Lown didn't have a whole lot of real estate to work with there, and he gave it away to Connor Wood. Wood sidesteps Lown, gets the puck in deep. Now goes to the Jackalopes bench for a line change. Nick Rosa for Albrecht, and now it's Lown on the right side. Lown dumps it in. Near corner, Albrecht kicks it over there to Rosa. Rosa had his stick checked. It's Taylor Gatto failing to clear on the first try. He does so on the second. Jeff Baum in pursuit of the puck. Lone Wildcat veteran defenseman coughs it up behind his own net due to the forecheck of Zach. Paisan working for it. He wedges it free there from John Russell rather. Goodsir against Ryan McKellar. Won by Goodsir, picked up Paisan. Paisan is aided by Bolio. McLean tries to clear, kept in right point, long shot Cronin, missed wide. John Russell takes a hit from Adam Goodsir, and the Jackalopes will get this puck out. 8 minutes remain in period 2. 2-1 the score in favor of the Jackalopes, who have their first lead of the night thanks to Zach. Here's another chance, a shot, missed wide, blocker side on Kappelmaster. I think that was Danny Corrali with a 3-on-1 opportunity. Holden Cronin behind his own net. Had his pocket picked by Zach. Still playing hard near the end of a shift. Michael Rounds down there. Knocks it out to center and beyond. This will not go for icing as John Flackney leaves it behind his own goal for the Jackalopes. 18-13 the shots. The Wildcats still leading in that department, but trailing on the scoreboard as Cooper Zek will wheel this puck through center. Zek eludes a couple of Wildcats and dumps it behind their net. Alexei Poikala spins with it, knocked down by Hampus Shodal. Litviak airs the puck out to center. Van Wy turns on the Jets, couldn't get around Cooper Zek, who did well to back check and knock the puck off his stick. Puck played around the boards. Litviak going after it as well as Gilraith. Litviak leaves it for Gilraith, then gets it from him. Litviak, right circle, spins with it, gives it back to the right point for Alexei Poikala. Poikala plays it in deep. Puck jabbed free, around the boards it goes, above the glove of Gilraith and played down by Derek Brown. Jeff Baum tried to give it to his defensive partner Gilraith. It went past his stick. Alexei Poikala jumps in there, knocks it loose, and gives it back to Baum in his own end. 6.5 to go in period 2. The Wildcats trailing the Jackalopes by a score of 2-1. Trent Dillinger on the forecheck against the undersized Cooper Zek. Trying to lift his stick, no luck with that, and the puck has just been iced by the Odessa Jackalopes. Offensive zone win by the Wildcats. Long shot from Rounds is sticked aside by John Flackney and picked up right corner by Austin Albrecht, who couldn't quite chip it back to the right defenseman, Michael Rounds. Hampus Shodal swoops in behind the Wildcats nets and centers, and Brennan Miller's shot is waffle boarded up over the glass and off the mesh by Justin Kappelmaster for his 12th save of the evening. To the Trebbing family, thank you very much once again for tuning in on FastHockey.com and enjoying some Wildcats hockey brought to you by Armored Roofing. We really appreciate all the support that you guys give us. We know you watch just about every single one of our broadcasts on FastHockey.com. So to the entire Trebbing family, thank you very much for all the support that you give the Wildcats. We go to our second period media timeout as the players converge in front of their own benches now and hear their orders from their bench bosses. John LaFontaine for the Wildcats, Greg Gatto for the Jackalopes. Two coaches who are not only tremendous bench bosses, but are also very pleasant people to be around. Not had the opportunity to meet Greg Gatto yet, but I've heard nothing but good things about his personality off the ice. And players who come here, they really do enjoy playing for him. He is largely responsible for the players the Jackalopes are able to reel into Odessa, as is John LaFontaine for the Wildcats, who will have an offensive zone opportunity here with 6 minutes remaining in period 2. Or excuse me, it will be a defensive zone face-off. The 20s line out there to take the draw. Nick Rosa against the big Hampus Shodal. The Swedish power forward lines up, but loses the draw to Nick Rosa. Michael Rounds played it behind the Wildcats net. Puck trickles out to the high slot. Albrecht spins with it, takes a hit there. Down goes Albrecht. Raymar knocked him down. Shodal's got a breakaway. in. Shodal shoots. What a back check there by, I think that was Johnny Lazarus who got back. No, it was Rosa rather. He prevented even a shot from being fired on goal by Hampus Shodal. A job well done by Nick Rosa, and some of his favorite players are two-way centers. He tries to model his game after them, and now you see why. Growing up a Detroit Red Wings fan, he loved watching Steve Yzerman. As Cyprus's long shot is gloved and held by John Flackney. Steve Yzerman, the prototype two-way centerman. Another favorite of his is on a rival team, the Chicago Blackhawks captain Jonathan Taves, another player that Nick Rosa very much idolizes. And speaking of Nick Rosa, the Rosa family is tuning in from Birmingham, Michigan, Nick's hometown. Todd, Lori, Andrew, and Peter all tuning in, watching the Wildcats on FastHockey.com. Thank you very much to the Rosa family. Paisan hammers a shot. It was partially blocked and goes over the net. But again, thank you very much for all the support that you give the Wildcats. And thank you very much for sending Nick to Wichita Falls. Another Michigan native, Adam Goodsir, wins the offensive zone faceoff, and Bolio chips it in deep for Paisan from in behind the net, who was looking to center for Goodsir. Didn't work out as John Russell fails to clear. Gilreath's long shot redirected wide, harmlessly into the near corner. Paisan one-hands it to Goodsir, who mishandled, fell down, and the Jackalopes will clear this puck. It's Ryan McKellar with a good reception. He will leave it off for Zach Zeck. Gains the line, tries to return for McKellar. Wasn't in his wheelhouse. Good back checking by Noah Gilreath. Puck comes loose. Out in front, Zach Zeck had his pocket picked partially by Paisan. Goodsir after it now. Goodsir chops it ahead. Paisan corrals it. Backhands it ahead for Austin Bolio down the left side. And Corrali cut him off like it was nothing. Andy McLean, one of the alternate captains, takes over in behind his own net. Gives it off to Zach Zeck, one of the two Jackalopes goal scorers tonight. Danny Corrali coming together with Alexei Poikula now. It's in behind the Jackalopes goal. McKellar gave it away to Van Wy, sets up Lown for Poikula, and he had to spin to pick it up and just failed to get it into his wheelhouse as Poikula runs into Zach Zeck down there and behind the Jackalopes net. Puck fluttered all the way down the ice. This will not be icing, courtesy of the hustle of John Russell, the Harvard commit. Ben Lown on the right side, chips it up the boards and out to center, eludes Poikula, goes the length, and Levin will touch it up. Levin out to the right side, bounced off the boards, and it was Brennan Miller. Puck fired deep into the Wildcat zone. Michael rounds behind his own net with 3.5 to go in the period, and his team down by a goal. Garrett Van Wy through center. Good back check by Brennan Miller, and down goes Brandon Tucker. Puck sent across the ice by Pierce Plumer. Cooper Zeck takes back over in his own end. Holden Cronin picks up possession in behind his own net. Goes around the boards for Nikita Litviak. Litviak goes cross ice. It's Holden Cronin. Up the boards for Trent Dillinger. Dillinger for Yeager. Yeager is onside. He turns. He waits, got some open ice, finds the trailer, it's Sipus. Sipus doesn't have a shooting lane, wheels to the outside and shoots, missed wide far side. Holden Cronin left point, picks it up, he's got some room. His bid blocked by the wall of players in front of the Jackalopes net. Cronin tries to center, hoping for Litviak, it bounced off the side of the goal. Litviak, right corner, slides it into the slot. Yeager tripped up. Will this be a penalty? No, Menard keeps his arm down. Dillinger in behind the Jackalopes goal, steals the puck. Dillinger surveying, goes to the left point. Cronin for Sipus right point. Skates in, right circle, long shot, partially blocked by Plumer. Held in Sipus once more. The Jackalopes are exhausted. Sipus scales down the wall, put it in behind the Jack's net. Dillinger going after it as well as Levin. Levin tries to clear, and he does so, but this will be icing, and the Jackalopes will not be able to change. They've got some exhausted players on the ice, folks, and if you're Greg Gatto, you've got to consider using your timeout in this situation because the players in cream out there, they can barely skate. Rosa takes the offensive zone face-off. Gilreath flutters one over the Jackalopes net. Once again, the Jacks have iced the puck, and they will not be allowed to change. That Roger Burnett just sent the Wildcats Twitter page a message inquiring about the possibility of Ryan Burnett providing color commentary this evening. Unfortunately, due to the setup here at the Ector County Coliseum and the way things are arranged, there is no way that I'd be able to reach a headset over to him. We don't have the privilege of having wireless headsets, so the headset will not reach to where the camera is mounted for Steva. And believe me, I considered it. I thought the instance with Garrett Van Wy, that was a success. And I thought the fans back home enjoyed it as well. And it's something I'm interested in doing going forward as Lazarus shoots, and what a save is made by John Flackney on a cross-ice pass. Lazarus had nothing but net to shoot at. He was on his strong side, so he couldn't exactly one-time the puck high, but regardless, a really nice save was made by John Flackney, and that's just one of many. But anyways, having the players do color analysis is certainly something that I would like to continue doing. Just unfortunately in this building, I do not think it will be possible due to the logistics here of the setup. So I'm sorry, Roger Burnett. I really wish he could be up here joining me. It's just not possible tonight. As Showdahl with a good steal, centers, wide open, Brown shoots, glove saved by Justin Kappelmaster. You want to talk about a goaltending battle that's been going on tonight, folks. We've got one on our hands, no doubt about that. That was A-plus goaltending by Justin Kappelmaster. He just robbed a red-hot Derek Brown, who was given a pass from an even hotter Hampus Showdahl. The two best scorers on the Odessa Jackalopes, undoubtedly. On a 2-on-1, denied by some leather flashing of Justin Kappelmaster. Andy McLean slams on the brakes behind the Jackalopes net. And the last minute of play is brought to you by La Quinta Inn and Suites, the official host hotel of your Wichita Falls Wildcats, as Poikula goes after the loose puck and will drop it off for DeMontis Sipus. Sipus up the boards for Garrett Van Wy. Lowndes strips McLean of it. Derek Brown working for it. Poikula corrals possession, sets up Rounds. His bid missed. Goes after it, gives it to Lown behind the Jackalopes goal. Lown with room, centers. Van Wy shoots, one off the post. Picked up Corrali, stolen by Van Wy. The Cats pressing for the tying goal. Showdahl tries to clear, held in Poikula. Poikula looks to the back, doesn't have anywhere to go. Showdahl intercepts the pass and just manages to squeak it past Michael Rounds at the half boards. Picked up and fired wide of the net there by John Russell. As the Wildcats have got to rush this puck down the ice with 20 seconds to go in the period. Andre Pais on left side, put it across the ice. It's Austin Bulio taking the shot. Rebound comes loose into the high slot and picked up and skated out of there by Russell. Russell feeds Zach. McKellar goes to the goal. Zach holds. McKellar goal line, centers, hoping for Russell. Picked off by Jeff Baum. 2 seconds and 1, and that's going to wrap things up. This second period of Wildcats hockey was brought to you by American Classifieds, and it comes to an end. The Wildcats still find themselves trailing in the game 2-1 after the only second period goal was scored by the Odessa Jackalopes, and it came off the stick of Zach on the power play. He was set up by his younger brother, Cooper Zek, in the waning seconds of the man advantage. 2-1 the score after 2 periods. The third period will be brought to your way momentarily. We're going to have first our second intermission, and the Wildcats, who are leading in the shots department, have only managed to beat John Flackney once in 23 attempts. So we'll be right back to bring you your second intermission report. We'll have an out-of-town scoreboard update for you, and we'll break down this game in a little bit greater detail when we come back. Stay tuned. And welcome back, folks, from the Ector County Coliseum. As always, I'm Alex Von Coydel, bringing you Wildcats hockey presented by Armored Roofing. We hope you've enjoyed the broadcast up till this point. In spite of the score at the moment, it's 2-1 Odessa with goals from Derek Brown and Zach Zeck. The Wildcats actually got on the board first. Trent Dillinger scored his first as a Wichita Falls Wildcat. Again, congratulations to Trent, but the elation of the newest Wildcats' first goal did not last long. It didn't take more than 3 minutes before Derek Brown found the puck on his stick along the far half boards in the Cat zone. Stick handled his way to the front of the net and backhanded a shot past Justin Kappelmaster's glove. Didn't have a whole lot of a chance to make the save on that point-blank backhander, which got the game tied. And then in the second period, about 7.5 minutes through, Zach Zeck was set up by his younger brother, Cooper Zeck, at the very end of a power play in the last, I'd say, 5 or 10 seconds or so, to get the Jackalopes their second goal of the night and their first lead of the night, which has held up until now. The Wildcats in third periods, they have been pretty good, especially against the Odessa Jackalopes. However, they've also been pretty strong in the second period. First periods have been their weakness for the most part this season. Second periods have been one of their strong suits, and unfortunately that second period was not. It's interesting to see how the lack of ice back home in Wichita Falls has affected the Wildcats up till this point in the game. They didn't really appear to be stymied by it one bit, or rusty, I guess you could say. Came out of the gates pretty strong, led the Jackalopes in shots in the first period 15-8, scored the first goal of the game. So perhaps their hunger took over because well, when you're a hockey player and you're basically like these guys are at the moment, mid-season hockey robots, and you go without it for a few days, once you hit the ice once again, it's pretty easy to get yourself motivated, which they have used their lack of practice this past week to their advantage, at least in the first period. The second period was not anywhere near as dominant by the Wildcats. It was a pretty evenly played period for the most part, I would say. You've got to give a lot of credit to the Odessa goaltender, John Flackney. He's made 22 saves on 23 shots, a couple of which could easily end up on a highlight reel. The biggest one that comes to mind came off the stick of Rourke Russell. He had it in the left circle in the Jackalopes zone, seemingly had nothing but net to shoot at. Flackney was down and out, and he dove from left to right to, I believe, get a stick on the shot from Rourke Russell and deny him of his third goal of the year. Rourke Russell has not scored in a building other than the NITEC Sports Center this season, so he's certainly a little bit snake-bitten, certainly would like to get a goal elsewhere this season. He will not have another chance to play at NITEC, so he's going to have to do it somewhere else if it's going to happen. And but anyways, that was one enormous save by Flackney. Another big one that comes to mind was in the second period on Johnny Lazarus. I believe he was set up either by Rosa or Albrecht. I believe it was Rosa from the far half boards. Lazarus really didn't have a whole lot of time to settle that puck down. He kind of had to one-time it, being on his strong side. Didn't get as much on it as he probably would have liked. He did get it on target, which in that situation is really all you can ask for. He wasn't able to elevate it, however, and Flackney, moving from right to left this time, did a sensational job of getting his pad on it and preventing any sort of rebound opportunity. So those are two enormous saves by the Jackalopes goaltender, who was acquired in a trade for Gunnar Rivers, who is now with the Minot Minotauros with Max Reisinger, the former Wildcat. John Flackney was, when he was in Minot, he played in large part under the shadows of Lucas Murray, who was their star goaltender. See him getting a bit of a better look here. He and Dean Schatzer will likely alternate games or split ice time in all likelihood. The Jackalopes still vying for a playoff spot in the South Division. They are a few points behind the Corpus Christi Ice Rays, 6 to be exact, but they do have 2 games in hand. So it'll be a battle for that fourth place spot, no doubt about that. The Wildcats by no means a lock for first place. The Lone Star Brahmas are they are 10 points behind them. They have a game in hand, and 10 points. That number it's a lot smaller than it sounds. And all it takes is a losing streak on one end and a winning streak on the other, a brief one for both sides, and the standings, the positioning in the standings could very easily flip. So it will be interesting to see how the playoff picture shapes up here in the South Division, but undoubtedly that's what people are starting to turn their minds to, Wildcats fans. 18 games remain, including this one here, before the Robertson Cup playoffs begin. The Wildcats, without question, will be in the playoffs. The question is whether they will have the top seed. It is possible, however unlikely, that the Brahmas and Topeka Roadrunners could both catch them in that first place spot. They were the top 3 seeds last season, the Roadrunners, the Wildcats, and the Brahmas. Cats, of course, know how important it is to maintain that top spot, because they would like nothing less than to face the Lone Star Brahmas or the Topeka Roadrunners in the first round of the playoffs. Ideally, those two teams would face one another, because the Wildcats have had success against the Ice Rays and the Jackalopes, more so than the other top teams in the division. They have not yet lost to either of these teams this season. However, one of those streaks in jeopardy here tonight. The Wildcats still find themselves trailing to the Odessa Jackalopes 2/3 of the way through this game here on this Thursday night at the Ector County Coliseum. The only other game that is being played this evening is out on the East Coast. It is taking place between the New Jersey Titans and the Wilkes-Barre Scranton Knights. And according to PointStreak.com, that game has just come to an end. The Wilkes-Barre Scranton Knights with a 5-2 victory over the New Jersey Titans. And for the Knights, that's good news. I mean, they're guaranteed a playoff spot regardless, but it is nice to catch the New Jersey Titans in the standings a little bit. They are, with that victory, they're just 9 points behind them. It's good to see new teams in the North American Hockey League succeeding. But every team in the East Division, if I read the playoff format correctly, every team in the East Division is guaranteed a spot, because it's the top 4 teams in each division who go on to the Robertson Cup playoffs. So if that is the case, there will not be a team in the East who does not qualify. Good news for the East Division, because every other division other than them has got 6 teams in it. 2 teams in each of those will not qualify. We're about 2 minutes away from third period action, folks. Stay tuned. We'll be right back. Welcome back, folks. The players are assuming their spots on the ice at the moment. It's the Goodsir line again for the Wildcats, and it's the Zach line again for the Jackalopes. The two of them have gone at it pretty much all evening long. One of them, however, has scored a goal. The other has not. The North American Hockey League's leading goal scorer, Adam Goodsir, has been held in check up till this point in the game. Will that continue? We'll find out. Third period action brought to you by American Classifieds is underway. Fasani drops the puck. It bounces immediately, and Noah Gilraith takes over in neutral ice and dishes for his defensive partner, Holden Cronin, who gives it back to him now. Noah Gilraith wheels through center, gains the blue line. Put it over the line, hoping for Bolio. Didn't work out. Bounces in behind the Jackalopes net. Pies on, finding Bolio. It trickles over his stick. Goodsir tried to lay it down the wall. It's picked off by Zach, who's got a 3-on-2 the other way. His pass on and off the tape for Ryan McKellar. Cronin one-handing it off his blade. Zach cycles it in down low around the end boards in the Wildcat zone. Ryan McKellar from the goal line sets up Zach back door. He holds and shoots. Went off the glass and out of play. Boy, Zach, another good chance. Again, he was the recipient of a really nice pass. He has done well finding the open ice, getting himself in position to get these passes. Ryan McKellar is the one who fed him, and Zach now giving him a fist bump as they both skate back to the Odessa bench for a line change. To me, it looked like if Zach could have one-timed that shot, could have had a better chance, but easier said than done from the broadcast booth as Jake Levin holds the puck in right point. Long shot blocked by Van Wy, and he trips up. He could have had a breakaway, but he just stumbled a little bit over himself there in the neutral zone. And play resumes as Jake Levin sends it out to center ice. It's Pierce Plumer, the Air Force commit, had it knocked off his stick. Alexei Poikala, the Finnish centerman, skates behind his own net. Alexei Poikala, an avid fan of Nicholas Backstrom of the Washington Capitals. And a penalty upcoming against the Jackalopes here. Backstrom having a phenomenal year for the Washington Capitals, as is virtually that entire team. I believe they're at the top of the National Hockey League standings at the moment, the Washington Capitals, and Nick Backstrom, as usual, a huge part of their success. He's, though he's not from the same country, he's from the same region. Nick Backstrom, a native of Sweden. Poikala, of course, from Finland, but they do, however, play pretty similar styles. Very skilled, savvy playmaking centers. And without question, Nick Backstrom is an enormous part of the reason Alexander Ovechkin has had the career that he has. Jeff Baum sidesteps Andy McLean, put it across the line. It's Eric Yeager dropping it off. Poikala, high slot. Baum holds and shoots through traffic. Save, rebound, loose. Bolio shoots, blocked in the goal mouth. A goal was just saved there by McLean, and the second shot is fired wide by Bolio, picked up near half boards by Yeager. Yeager slides it across for Baum, who slapped one towards the net, blocked down. Picked up by Goodsir. Goodsir feeds Bolio. Down goes Goodsir, courtesy of Graymar. Sent across. Poikala for Bolio, played off his skate. Couldn't handle it, and the puck has just been slapped off the boards and all the way down the ice. One of the fans here really giving the Jackalopes penalty killers, who are also their top scorers, a round of applause. As the job was well done in that short-handed effort. Garrett Van Wy for Ben Lown. The Miami of Ohio commit got it to Dillinger, the lone Wildcats goal scorer of the evening. Played it around the Jackalopes end boards. Van Wy far corner boards. Ben Lown back to the right point. It's Noah Gilraith manning the power play. Garrett Van Wy tries to go across. It was picked off by Connor Wood, who dives to poke it out to center. Litviak regathers possession. Right back across the Jackalopes line. Holds, finds Gilraith. High slot, takes the shot. Blocked down. Pad save by Flackney. Puck cleared. Some good movement, some good looks by the Wildcats. Jim Arnold's collision power play, but to no avail. They have been unable to solve John Flackney. Ben Lown drops it off at the left point, backhands it down the wall, hoping for Dillinger, who's tied up by Levin. Now it's Litviak down low and behind the net for Albrecht. 2 seconds and 1 as time ticks off the clock for the power play. Tucker's out of the box. He wants in the neutral zone. Finally back defending him is Lazarus. Centering pass for Russell, knocked away from him. Fanning on it was Brandon Tucker. Cooper Zek's long shot, soaked up Kappelmaster. Rebound, bounces all the way down in behind the net. And Rounds will send the puck ahead. Missed Lazarus. icing has been called, even though Lazarus was clearly in the lead in that foot race. So the whistle blows and the face-off will return into the Wildcat zone. I'd like to give a shout out to Wildcats owner Alex Schneiderman tuning in all the way from New Jersey with Madison and Nicole. Thank you very much to all of you for tuning in to fasthockey.com and supporting the Wildcats. And we hope we can get a win for you here on this Thursday night, a rare Thursday night matchup, and an even more rare 3-game road series. It will be the only time the Wildcats will be faced with this task this season, a 3-game road series, which speaking with John LaFontaine in one of the Wildcats Wednesdays episodes quite some time ago, he said other than the Lone Star Brahmas series, this will be the toughest of the season. Andy McLean spinning with it in his own zone. Puck fired out to center. It's Derek Brown who runs into Sipus. Still has the puck. Tried to set up Showdahl. It was behind him. Puck rattled off the boards and out to center. Austin Bolio with a 3-on-2. Rink-wide pass between the skates and stick of Paisan, who recovered. Rosa got it around Menslage. It's Bolio. Cronin keeps it in. Plays it down the wall. Bolio tried to give it to Paisan. Gets the return from him. Left circle. Takes the shot. Redirected wide by Rosa. Picked up far corner. Bomb is in. He shoots. Mask save. And the rebound eluded Austin Bolio. And the Jackalopes are out to center and beyond. They have just fired the puck the length of the ice. We are a quarter of the way through period 3. This period has been dominated by the Wildcats thus far, but they have nothing to show for it. They still trail 2-1. It's Austin Bolio skating through center off the skates of Goodsir, and offside is called as Zach and Adam Goodsir come together after the fact. Boy, how about the numbers of the Jackalopes netminder tonight? John Flackney, 27 for 28. This is not Amarillo. Those shots are not deceptive. Bolio's centering attempt didn't work out. Follow-up chance. Ricochet's on goal. Diving down to save it was Flackney, and he covers it up in the net mouth. Not sure if they'll count that as a save. Looked like it just ricocheted towards the net, and he dove on it. Regardless, some smart goaltending by John Flackney, native of Maple Plain, Minnesota. Believe it or not, is the only Minnesota native on the Jackalopes roster tonight. Hear that said very often for a junior hockey team. As Goodsir shot one off the side of the goal. Goodsir working for it along with Connor Wood. Jabbed up the boards, not out, held in Paisan. Connor Wood back in possession of the puck. Paisan tries to keep it alive. No luck. Connor Wood down from his knees, back to his skates. Paisan working for it in front of his own bench. Bolio helping him out down there. Goodsir goes off the ice for a line change, as his line mates do as well. Puck fired off the glass in the Wildcat zone. Holden Cronin, pressured by Matt Rippon, got it behind the net, and it's Van Wy now. Garrett Van Wy couldn't make the lead pass for Lown, who wanted it, and a penalty will be called. I believe it will be against the Wildcats. There's a loose helmet rolling around down there. Noah Gilraith now chirping with Brennan Miller. And Gilraith is being escorted to the Wildcats sin bin, shaking his head all the way there. The last time the Wildcats were in this building, Noah Gilraith got into a little bit of a scuffle in front of the Jackalopes net. It was, I'm not sure if you want to call it a fight or not. It was the closest thing to it that we've seen this season from Noah Gilraith. Something about this building just seems to agitate him. He's going to have a seat again. As Corrali keeps the puck alive at the right point, gives it to Showdahl, half boards. Sipus can't knock it free off his stick, and Marr shoots one around the end boards. McLean's got to hurry over there. He mishandled. Poikala rushing after it. Interfered with, no penalties. Showdahl is back. Chipped free by Van Wy. Good penalty killing between Alexei Poikala and Garrett Van Wy. And you can see why they play on a line together. They're probably the only players on the Wildcats who can keep up with one another. Hampus Shodal gains the blue line, powers his way in behind the Wildcats net and tried to center. It went off of Cyprus's stick and out of play. Thank you very much to Danny Dillinger and the Dillinger family tuning in all the way from Wyoming, the home state of Trent Dillinger, who's from Gillette, Wyoming. Thank you very much to the Dillinger family. We hope you're enjoying the night that Trent Dillinger is having. He's got the only goal for the Wildcats thus far up till this point in the game. His first goal as a Wildcat, and he's out there now killing the penalty. One-time drive, pad save, Kappelmaster. Bounce to the right half boards. It's Cooper Zek sending it back to Zach, his elder brother. One-timer again, score! That is another power play goal, and it's Dakota Mensledge. Boy, can he rip it. Doesn't get a whole lot of playing time for Greg Gatto's Jackalopes. In fact, he's only played in 12 games this season. When he's got a shot like that, I'm not sure why. 3-1 Odessa. Jackalopes control the puck in behind their own net. McLean will leave it for Danny Corrali. Corrali goes around the half boards with it. Derek Brown chips it further, and it's Gray Marr. Gray Marr down the right side takes the shot. Fought off by Kappelmaster, and he smothers up the rebound. Two more power play points for the Zek brothers. They each had one on the last power play, or 2 power plays ago, I should say. Cooper Zek with the assist, Zek with the goal. That last one, each of them had an assist. As Trent Dillinger hauls the puck through center, it's Litviak, left side. Litviak left corner now, backhand pass, hoping for Yeager. It was between his stick and his skates, and the Jackalopes escape with no harm done. Gatto takes a hit to make a play. It's Matt Rippon taking it wide and shooting it wide as well. Yeager trying to jar it loose from Connor Wood, works it back to the right point. Levin had it bounce away from him. Dillinger pressuring him, and what have we here? The whistle has blown. The Wildcats looked like they had a rush going, and the whistle was just blown. No signal coming from any of the officials. Adam Goodsir against Zach Zek. Here's Jake Levin in his own end. D-to-D for Cooper Zek. Wildcats are back in a neutral zone trap. Puck fluttered wide of the net. Cronin, left corner in his own end, stripped of it by Zach Zek. Tried to get it there to John Russell. Russell sweeps in behind, gave it back to the left point. Cooper Zek fakes, then takes the shot. Ricochets wide. His elder brother Zach centered it, and the shot is stopped by Kappelmaster on John Russell. Here's Ryan McKellar, Here's Russell now in, tried to play it across. A good defensive play made by Holden Cronin. McKellar in behind the net, sets up a man, and Russell, his shot stopped. Rebound stopped again by Justin Kappelmaster. He's keeping his team in the game. Zach Zek for Ryan McKellar. Cyprus uses the body to play him off the puck. John Russell, the Harvard commit, turns it over courtesy of Holden Cronin, and the Wildcats are out to center with it. Adam Goodsir gained the red line before dumping the puck in. 11 minutes remain in period 3. The Cats find themselves down by 2 goals for the first time this season against the Jackalopes. Alexei Poikala gains the blue line, puts on the brakes, high slot, fires a shot, blocked by Tucker and out of play. Hauled down the left wing side and chipped past Baum by Pierce Plumer. He's run into down there along the end boards. Baum reps it around those boards, and Van Wy's got it on the left side. Van Wy put it over the line for Ben Lown. Goes after it. Lown jars it free. Van Wy's got it. Poikala sets up shop in front of the net. Here's Baum, sliding one into the slot, redirected wide by Poikala. And the puck has just been cleared by the Jackalopes. They're in control now at center ice. Miller got it to Plumer, who dumped it around the Wildcats' end wall. Van Wy awaiting it in his own point. He will skate it deliberately through center and dump the puck into an empty corner, which is now occupied by both Rosa and Andy McLean. McLean chopping it free. Albrecht going after to get it, backhanded it down the boards, and it's chopped out of there and taken by Danny Corrali, who's got a 3-on-1 the other way. Danny Corrali right side, Gilraith is back, cross ice pass, pad save, rebound, sent wide by Danny Corrali. That was inches away. Half of the audience here thought that was a goal. Graymar took the initial shot. A big, huge pad save was made by Justin Kappelmaster. Kicked out the left leg, made the save. The rebound laid there. Nothing but a 4x6 empty net separating Danny Corrali from scoring his first goal of the night. And in his defense, he was going full speed ahead on the 2-on-1. He did not anticipate that puck coming back to him in any way, shape, or form. And he had already crossed the Wildcats' goal line before the puck had come loose, and he had to stop and skate back into the front of the net and try to get any sort of shot on goal, and he backhanded it just wide on the far side of the net. And the Wildcats caught a huge break, but they were given a penalty. According to the clock here, it's against Justin Kappelmaster. Johnny Lazarus will serve it for him. Defensive zone faceoff won by Eric Yeager. Holden, Cronin, and Yeager working for it down there. Derek Brown ends up with it. Stymied by Cronin. Center on the boards by Graymar. Left point, it's held in. Derek Brown's got it. Towards the corner for Graymar. Behind the net, it's Shodal looking. Shodal on his backhand, swaps places with Marr and Brown. McLean wants it. Shodal puts on the brakes. Gives it to Derek Brown. Wheels in, takes the shot, it's blocked. Brown tries to get back on it. Cronin will fire it out of play. Still 82 seconds remain on this Parkway Grill penalty kill, which has failed the Wildcats on a couple of occasions tonight. They are 3 for 5 technically, but one goal was scored just moments after the penalty kill had expired, so you could say they're 2 for 5 tonight. It has not been a good night for the Wildcats penalty killers. Held in right point by Cooper Zek, who brings it down the wall and drops it back off to Zach Zek. Zach Zek gave it across for a one-time drive, and that one is fought off this time by Justin Kappelmaster on Dakota Menslage. And another penalty upcoming. There's a scramble of players down there. Can't tell who this is going to be against. Based on the body language, it looks like Holden Cronin is going to go for Wichita Falls. Holden Cronin has been a trooper in his own zone tonight. He has found himself in several difficult situations down there behind his own goal line, working for the puck and fighting hard, but he's going to have a seat. And the Jackalopes go to the 5-on-3 power play. And they can really have a strong opportunity here to put this game away. All the big guns out there for the Odessa Jackalopes. Humpus Shodal, Gray Marr, Derek Brown, Danny Corrali, and Andy McLean. McLean takes the one-time shot, punched away by Kappelmaster. Bounced off the far corner boards. Derek Brown, Andy McLean, Humpus Shodal, Andy McLean, holds, Brown, left circle, returns, McLean, one-times it, goes off the glass and behind the net. Goodster's got it. Had his stick lifted by Corrali, who's working the end boards. Long one-timer from McLean, again stopped by Kappelmaster. Shodal, cross ice, Derek Brown, top of the left circle. Corrali goes to the goal. McLean working the top of the umbrella, takes another shot, stung Kappelmaster, and he's down. He made the stop, and that hit him somewhere you don't want to be hit. He's sprawling down there. The referees have blown the whistle, and they're calling for a trainer now from the Odessa Jackalopes who's going to work his way onto the ice. Justin Kappelmaster was really stung by that shot. We hope he's all right. It was the fourth shot that Andy McLean had taken from the top of the power play. And the Jackalopes trainer now tending to Kappelmaster down there at the moment. It looked like it hit him near the sternum. Not 100% sure. The mask has been taken off. It wasn't for the puck, though. He took it off after he'd already been hit. Kappelmaster has been banged up a few times this season mid-game, and all but once has he returned. It was just that one instance against the Lone Star Brahmas December 18th on home ice, in which he took himself out of the game. That's the reason he wasn't allowed to come back, is because he took himself out. He was not taken out. The audience now applauding as Kappelmaster, under his own power, will get back onto his skates, put his helmet back on, and I believe he will continue. Players all making sure Kappelmaster is all right down there. Seems to be okay. The 5-on-3, meanwhile, will continue here. Jeff Baum taking a face-off. He lost it. Andy McLean, high slot, gives it to Derek Brown. This time doesn't pull the trigger. Shodal back door, redirected just wide by Gray Marr. Jeff Baum has it. He will fire it off the glass and all the way down the ice. 10 seconds remain on the Justin Kappelmaster penalty, so Lazarus is standing in the penalty box waiting to get out there. 2 seconds and 1, and now the Jackalopes are to a single-man advantage as Shodal has it, left circle. Shodal surveys, slides it safely back to the left point. It's Andy McLean. Down the wall for Derek Brown, around the end boards, and it's going to be Hampus Shodal once more, working against Johnny Lazarus. Shodal back to the right point this time. Danny Corrali walking the line, giving the return to Shodal. Shodal, top of the ring, long bid, missed just wide, picked up by Bolio and cleared. And that is the fifth one-timer that McLean had taken on that power play. He's got to be exhausted. Zek leaves it. It's taken by Zach Zek. Given ahead for Pierce Plumer, the 6'4" Air Force commit goes in to get it, turned it over, and Paisan clears. The Wildcats Parkway Grill penalty kill has made a bit of a recovery of sorts. They went from being 3 for 5 to 5 for 7 in the span of the last couple minutes. They just killed off a 5-on-3. They do, however, still find themselves trailing by 2 goals, and they've only got 6 minutes and 41 seconds to make up the deficit here as we go to our third period media timeout. Fans here roaring. They can smell the Jackalopes' first victory this season against the Wildcats. And they are hungry. Just as hungry as the players are down there. Lown tries to get it back to the right point. Gilraith did an incredible job to keep that puck alive. Lown gave it across. Van Wy was beaten to the puck. Left point, Cronin keeps it in, but it's turned over, and Pierce Plumer will skate it through center and dump it in. Kapelmaster behind his own net will play it. We're on the near corner boards. Too far for Van Wy, jabbed free by Poikala down the left side. Cooper Zek hustles back, and Poikala had a blowout as he fell down to the ice and has to recover now. Cooper Zek, meanwhile, leads the rush back the other way for Odessa, puts on the brakes and sends it into the slot. Poked away by Poikala, tries to beat Plumer to the loose puck, but he couldn't do so. Plumer goes across for Brandon Tucker, and the Jackalopes reset in their own zone. Home run pass ahead, a bit too far for Gatto. Taylor Gatto, the son of the Jackalopes head coach, Greg Gatto. Cronin fires it off a Dillinger's stick and into the offensive zone. Picked up by Ben DeMaio, the Dartmouth commit. Played ahead, not out, held in. Good swipe by Yeager, got it to Rounds. Played in deep, DeMaio coughs it up. It's taken by Dakota Mensledge. Scored a beautiful goal in this game. Litviak, right corner working for it. Mensledge pushes him off the puck. Wrapped around the boards. Rounds pinches down the boards. Litviak in behind the net for Dillinger, far corner. Dillinger back to Litviak. Connor Wood in there muddling things up. Dakota Mensledge aiding the newest Jackalope. Puck sent ahead. Good keep there on a good pinch by Sipus. And Connor Wood finally on the puck. Takes a big hit there from Michael Rounds. He just ran into Connor Wood. What a collision that was. I've never seen Michael Rounds lay a hit like that. And the linesman, Tyler Bennett, now in there. Kyle Bennett. Dillinger wants to go. He's having some words with Connor Wood down there. And the Jackalopes are going to go to the penalty box. It's Matt Rippon. He's going to have a seat. Looks like he won't be the only one. Connor Wood is not done yet. He's just yapping all the way to the Jackalopes bench, over to the Wildcats players on their bench. And from what I've heard about this kid, that's the kind of player he is. He likes to get under your skin. The Wildcats have to avoid letting that happen. They've got a power play to work with here. They're 0 for 2 on the man advantage tonight. Baum's long shot tipped on goal and stopped with the right shoulder of John Flackney. Baum walks the line, gives it to Yeager, left circle, goal line for Bolio. Bolio surveys, doesn't see a passing lane, gives to Baum. One times it just wide. It was tipped there by Yeager, picked up behind the net. Yeager finds Baum, who's open. Tries to slip him the return pass, a bit too far in front of his stick. Corrali takes a high stick, it looked like. No call against the Wildcats. Pushed up the boards, and Baum pinches, but to no avail. Showdahl manages to work it out. Austin Bolio resetting in his own zone. Eric Yeager left side. Gains the Jackalopes line. He's hauled down by Andy McLean. Puck rattled off the glass, and a penalty will be called. Now the Wildcats will go to the 5-on-3. Andy McLean will get called for tripping as he brought down Eric Yeager after having just crossed the blue line. So now Wichita Falls with an outstanding opportunity to get themselves back in this game. 4 minutes and 15 seconds remain, and they've got a 2-man advantage for the next minute and 18 seconds with Matthew Rippon and Andy McLean, one of their best defensemen, in the penalty box. All pieces of the 20s line are on the ice for this 5-on-3. Nick Rosa, Austin Albrecht, and Johnny Lazarus. They're joined by Andre Paisan at forward and Jeff Baum, the lone defenseman. Lazarus with some time finds Jeff Baum. Goal line, Albrecht tried to send it backdoor for Lazarus. Good stick there by Zach Zek, who flies down the other way, and it will just backhand it behind the Cats' net. Good penalty killing by Zach Zek. Good special teams all evening long by Zach Zek. He's got 2 power play points and a pretty good penalty kill shift as well. Austin Albrecht wheels in behind the Jackalopes net. Got it to the right side. Lazarus hugging the wall, trying to hold that puck in. Good stick lift by Albrecht. They're all over Showdahl. Failed to clear it. Good keep momentarily by Paisan, who just tripped up Hampus Showdahl. He's going to have a seat. Andre Paisan will get sent to the Wildcats penalty box for tripping. He just dove after that loose puck to keep it alive in the offensive zone, and unfortunately got too much of Showdahl for the referee's liking. So he's going to have a seat as well. The Wildcats are still on the power play for the next 38 seconds. They've got a 4-on-3. Adam Goodsir, Austin Bolio, Michael Rounds, and Ben Lown on the ice for this 4-on-3. Hampus Shodal, Danny Corrali, and Cooper Zek on the ice for the Jackalopes. Shodal gives it back to Danny Corrali. So calm and composed back there with the puck on his stick. Here's Michael Rounds in his own end. Austin Bolio fanned on the pass. He was hoping for Lown, didn't get all of it. Sent back the other way. Kapellmaster leaves it with a quarter of a minute to go on the 4-on-3 for the Wildcats as Rounds' pass missed the target, Adam Goodsir, and boy, the Wildcats are just out of sorts this period. Icing called against Wichita Falls. Bolio wheels through center, gains the line with some speed, drops it off for Goodsir. His shot pad save, rebound, Lown shoots, scores through the 5-hole. Ben Lown snuck it through. John Flackney slid from left to right. He was in the right position, but Lown managed to find an opening right between the wickets, and the Wildcats have finally come through on the Jim Arnold Collision power play, and they now trail by just one. Go to 4-on-4 for the next 25 seconds or so. A steal behind the Jackalopes net. Rosa trying to get it back to the point. Albrecht pushing it down the boards and in behind the Jackalopes net. It's Danny Corrali. Corrali will wheel through center. Rounds had a blowout. Fortunately, Corrali lost the puck. And what happened here? The puck may have been hit with a high stick. The faceoff will remain in the neutral zone as the Jackalopes send their top guns off the ice. Alexei Poikala, Garrett Van Wy, Jeff Baum, and Noah Gilreath, the choices for the remainder of this 4-on-4, which is only 8 seconds long, after which the Wildcats will have an abbreviated penalty to kill for the next 40 seconds as Baum takes one last shot at even strength. It was off target, went off a Jackalope stick and hit the glass in behind the Jacks net. And now Odessa has a 35-second power play to work with. Gray Marr gains the Wildcats line. Puck cleared by Baum for Poikala. Wildcats now 1 for 4 on the Jim Arnold Collision power play. Their penalty kill, 5 for 7. Danny Corrali picked it off. Gray Marr tries to get it past Poikala. Instead, he'll just go back safely to Corrali. Jake Levin lost a handle on it. Poikala with a good steal. He's tripped up. Poikala kicks it to his stick, which is wrapped up there by Levin. Wildcats back to full strength. Lown tried to center, hoping for Paisan. That was Bolio who tried to center, rather. Paisan threw it through the net mouth, and it goes wide. And Derek Brown takes over for Odessa. Finds a man open in the neutral zone in Gray Marr, who's tired at the end of a shift. He goes to the Jackalopes bench for a line change, a fire wagon line change. 4 new skaters on the ice for the Jacks as a long bid from Paisan is gloved easily and held by John Flackney. And now Kapellmaster halfway to the Wildcats bench, trying to get the attention of Josh Nelson, who's telling him to stay in the net. The Wildcats trail by 1 goal. It's 3-2. You see on your screen Kapellmaster just waiting for the call. A minute and 13 seconds remain in period 3. And I believe John LaFontaine utilizing his timeout here. That is the case. John LaFontaine is going over orders with his troops down there on the Wildcats bench. They've got an offensive zone face-off, possibly 6 attackers, and 73 seconds to work with. they trail the Jackalopes by just a goal. Going up against a red-hot netminder in John Flackney, who has been sensational tonight. 29 saves on 31 shots. The net to our right is empty. 6 attackers on the ice for the Wildcats, and they come in the form of Adam Goodser, Johnny Lazarus, Eric Yeager, Austin Bolio, Alexi Poikala, and Jeff Baum. Offensive zone faceoff to the right of John Flackney, not won cleanly by either side. Bolio gets it left circle, holds, goes to Baum at the top of the ring. Baum holds, gives it back, Bolio top of the left circle. Bolio returns, Baum's shot, missed wide, rebound, sent off the side of the net, and picked up by John Russell, who will backhand the puck ahead. Nothing but a 4x6 net to shoot at for Zach Zeck, who was caught offside. And Ryan McKellar not happy with his centerman after that play. .45 seconds. The Jackalopes trying to hold on, nursing a delicate 1-goal lead. Kapelmaster is sent back into the Wildcats' goal, so one of these players is going to have to come off the ice, and it will be Lazarus or Yeager. They can't decide. Some big confusion down there. Yeager and Lazarus circling around one another, weren't sure which one was supposed to stay and which one was supposed to go. Lazarus ends up staying. Kapelmaster behind the net. It bounced over his stick. McKellar has it. Bolio trying to pry it loose. McKellar trying to kill off every second he possibly can. Bolio gives it across. Kapelmaster again halfway to the bench. Puck dumped in. Kapelmaster goes there. 6 attackers on the ice for the Cats. Garrett Van Wy is the last attacker as the puck is sent back to the left point, but nobody's there. Rounds corrals in center ice. Gives it ahead for Goodser. Had his pocket picked by Zach Zeck. It's picked up and controlled by Adam Goodser once more over the Jackalopes logo with a quarter of a minute remaining. He dumps it on goal. Easy save, Flackney. Picked up behind the net. The Jackalopes try to clear. Good keep. Goodser by himself sends it across. Bolio shoots. Pad save by Flackney. Puck picked up far corner. 2 seconds and 1. Fanning on the empty net shot was Zach Zeck, and that's going to seal the deal. For the first time this season, the Wildcats have been defeated by the Odessa Jackalopes. And for the first time this season, the Wildcats have lost 2 consecutive regulation games. (3-2) the final here in Odessa. Despite outshooting the Jackalopes 32-27, the Cats fall short here on this Thursday night. And we're going to await the 3-star selection here at the Ector County Coliseum. We'll be right back in just a few minutes to break down this game for you in greater detail, give you one last out-of-town scoreboard update, which will be brief, and let you be on your way. Stay tuned, folks. Back, folks. The public address announcer here at the Ector County Coliseum has just announced the three-star selection, which for you Wildcats fans is brought to you by Kona Ice, and their three-star selection is as follows. Derek Brown had that first goal to get the ball rolling for Odessa on that nice backhand shot. He was their third star. Zach with 2 power play points, a goal and an assist. Given the second star of tonight's game. And John Flackney, no surprises here, 30 saves on 32 shots, was the first star of the game. As for the Wildcats' three-star selection brought to you by Kona Ice, 2 players the same, 1 different, however. Trent Dillinger, in just his third game as a Wildcat, scored his first goal as a Wildcat. So congratulations to Trent, very well-deserved first goal as a Wichita Falls Wildcat. We hope you enjoyed it. We hope for the family members he has listening out there, we hope you all enjoyed it as well. The second star, Zach, again, 2 power play points, a goal and an assist. The assist on that one-time goal by Dakota Menslage, who many people did not think would play in this game. That was the game-winning goal. So huge turning point in the game on the power play. A ripper from Dakota Menslage from the left point, and he's making a case for himself as to why he should get some more ice time. And finally, again, no surprises, John Flackney, playing in just his second game as a Jackalope, has earned his second win, and his numbers just keep getting better. Now with the Jackalopes, 30 saves on 32 shots. He is tonight's Kona Ice first star of the game. Again, 3-2 the final here in Odessa. The only game happening out of town tonight is way out on the East Coast. It's in New Jersey, and the Titans lost to the Wilkes-Barre Scranton Knights, who have climbed back to within striking distance. For the most part, they're 9 points behind the New Jersey Titans in the East Division standings. The Wildcats, with that loss, remain 10 points ahead of the Lone Star Brahmas, who did not play tonight. The Brahmas, however, do now have 2 games in hand over the Wildcats, and just 10 points to make up, which would come in the form of 5 victories. So the Wildcats can't get too comfortable here at the top of the first plate, at the top of the South Division, because, as was mentioned earlier in the broadcast, they do not want to face off against Lone Star or Topeka in the first round of the Robertson Cup playoffs. That's going to just about wrap things up from the Ector County Coliseum, folks. We really hope you enjoyed tonight's broadcast in spite of the outcome. Once more, 3-2 the final in favor of the Odessa Jackalopes. We really appreciate everybody tuning in to tonight's broadcast. We hope you enjoyed it. Again, I'm